Hello and welcome to the Horsefall Community Stadium here in Bradford for Northern Premier League action as Bradford Park Avenue take on Bamber Bridge. Now the sun is shining here in Bradford. Who am I kidding? It's wet and windy out here. It's about 9 degrees out there. The wind is blowing and it'll be an interesting fixture today. We'll quickly run through the teams. One change for Bradford Park Avenue as the injured Mitch Lund will be replaced by Jack Whiting in goal. Number 1, Tom Scott. Today's captain for Park Avenue, number 2, Lucas Adunston. Number 3, Lewis Hay. Number 4, Ted Lavelle. Number 5, Jack Whiting. Number 6, Will Lancaster. Number 7, Harrison Hopper. Number 8, Connor Shanks. Number 9, Chinedu Osadibi. Number 10, Jordan Preston. Number 11, Miles Labastide. And on the bench for Park Avenue, number 12, Reward Mokona. Number 14, Mason O'Malley. Number 15, Harry Colville. Number 16, Brad Doherty. And new signing announced just in the past couple of hours, Eddie Mayoko, as the teams come out onto the field now, going through Bamber Bridge's lineup. In goal, number 1, James Pradich. Number 2, Christopher Churchman. Number 3, Adam Dodd. Number 4, Jack Baxter. Number 5 and captain for Bamber Bridge, Macaulay Wilson. Number 6, Lamine Toure. Number 7, Danny Edwards. Number 8, Billy Bold. Number 9, Ewan Bange. Number 10, Harry Scarborough. And number 11, Mackenzie O'Neill, an unchanged 11 from Bamber Bridge's victory last week at home 2-1 against Matlock Town. On the bench for Bamber Bridge today is Mark Cullen, veteran of the EFL, over 200 appearances, former Bradford City man. Number 14 is Danny Forbes, number 15, Lewis Thompson, number 16, Joseph Strawn, and number 17, Sonny Sharples. The referee today is Paul Roots, and his assistants are Joseph Morell and Matthew Edwards. Now, what a week it's been. On Wednesday, we got the announcement here at Bradford Park Avenue of first-team head coach Danny Whitaker arriving to the club. Big day for him, big day for Park Avenue off the back of last week's scintillating victory, 4-3 away at Macclesfield. Goals from a fantastic free kick from Lewis Hay, a double from Jordan Preston, his first goals of the season, and a cool finish from Chinedu Osadibi. Saw Bradford Park Avenue come away with 3 points last weekend. They'll be hoping to build on that victory into today's game and hopefully get a new win for new first-team head coach. Now the teams are set. Bradford Park Avenue shooting from right to left in their traditional white and green. Bamber Bridge, of course, left to right in a nice yellow strip today. Danny Whitaker this week spoke to Tom at Bradford Park Avenue, said that there was loads to work with here at Park Avenue, and of course that he says he's all in, which is exactly what we'd like to hear. Park Avenue currently sit 18th in the table on 17 points. 4 wins, 5 draws and 11 losses. That'll look to improve, hopefully, under Danny Whitaker. Bamber Bridge sit 15th, 25 points on the board for them. 5 wins, 10 draws and 6 losses. Not much between the two sides in terms of that, but points-wise, 8 points. Hopefully that will be closed today for Park Avenue. As the captains shake hands in the centre circle. And we'll be swapping sides. So just to confirm now that Park Avenue will be shooting from right. Park Avenue will shoot from left to right, and Bamber Bridge from right to left. Just to confirm the team news on the bench for Park Avenue is a brand new signing, Eddie Mayoko, former experience with Macclesfield, Stafford, and Hyde United. He's on the bench today for Park Avenue, announced just in the past couple of hours, as we are almost ready to get underway here. Manager for Bamber Bridge today is Jamie Milligan. Jamie Milligan knows Danny Whitaker well. They once played together at Macclesfield for a month in 2003, if you'd like a little bit of niche information from around 20 years ago. As the referee checks if both keepers are good to go. They are, the linesmen are good, and we are underway here at the Horsefall Community Stadium as Bamber Bridge kick us off. The ball goes down the right-hand side for them and runs out for a throw-in. Wind playing a big part today, I reckon, as Lewis Hay, over at that left-back, scored an absolute wonderful free kick. Beckham-esque, some would say, after his second effort, of course, last week. If you've seen the highlights, took his first free kick and he had to retake it due to encroachment, and he put it right into the far top corner. He takes a long throw in down the line, and the ball bounces around in the midfield, and it's regained now by Bamber Bridge, who are driving forward as O'Neill goes forward. He, of course, scored 2 goals last week in their victory against Matlock Town, but Dunstan regains the ball and plays it down the right-hand side, looking for Miles Labastide. Labastide just, unfortunately, a bit too much on the pass for him to control, and the ball will run on through to James Pradich in the Bamber Bridge goal. He goes out wide to Chris Churchman over at right back for Bamber Bridge, who looks long and plays it all the way down. And Will Lancaster intercepts, playing at centre half today. And the ball then goes out onto this right-hand side to a Dunstan, who tries to drive forward a little bit. He goes right further out onto this byline, just across the halfway line now. Hopper plays it down this right-hand side once more, looking for Labastide, but it's intercepted by Lamine Toure, the on-loan Bolton Wanderers man for Bamber Bridge. He goes to Pradich, and Pradich plays a ball across the deck, right up towards the halfway line. That's picked up by Billy Bold. He then went to Adam Dodd, but he was intercepted by Lucas Dunstan. The ball will now go out for a Bamber Bridge throw-in just inside Park Avenue's half. 2 minutes gone here at the Horseball. Nice to see first team head coach Danny Whitaker already pointing out some instructions. The ball's put into play by Adam Dodd of Bamber Bridge, and it's bouncing around. Connor Shanks does well to get his foot to it, and well controlled by Preston, who plays it back to Hopper, and Hopper's ball down the line is just not on the same wavelength as Osadibe, who of course scored last week against Macclesfield, and the ball will run out of play just down this right-hand side for Park Avenue. So Dodd of Bamber Bridge will take another throw-in. Just level with the edge of his own area. He goes long this time, looking intercepted by a Dunstan, but the ball bounces around once more, and Harry Scarborough does well to pick up the ball and play it across over onto that right-hand side, where Chris Church has a bit of room to run in. Potentially Lewis Hayes as well to just guard him and make sure that he goes no further there, as the ball goes back to Macaulay Wilson with the armband on for Bamber Bridge. He plays forward, and the ball holds up in the wind, and it's picked up by Mackenzie O'Neill, the man in form. Like I said, 2 goals for him last week. Bamber Bridge looking to drive down that right-hand side now, as Harry Scarborough with the ball at his feet. Well shielded there by Whiting, but Bamber Bridge do well to get into the box. And it will be a corner, I believe. Yes, it shall, as Danny Edwards looked to play the ball into the box, and Jack Whiting managed to intercept it. Corner to be put in by Jack Baxter into the box. Early chance potentially for Bamber Bridge. Will they make use of it? First chance of the game. Sending a few bodies forward. Not many staying back. Almost all Bradford Park Avenue players back in their box. In fact, they are now. But the corner goes short. A little move off the training ground potentially, but it's come to nothing. Park Avenue wise to it and managed to force Bamber Bridge back to their furthest outfield man, Adam Dodd, who looks to go long down this left-hand side, and he looks for O'Neill. And Lancaster does well to intercept and plays Labastide, who has room to drive, and this is when he knows he can get at them. He plays a little 1-2 with Connor Shanks, and now Labastide has room to drive into. Goes one-on-one with Toure, down on this right-hand side. Tricky feet. Beats Toure, but doesn't manage to get past him himself, and it's intercepted by captain Macaulay Wilson, who just drives out of defence. Plays it long, but again, the wind plays a part, and it runs out for a Park Avenue throw-in just inside their own half. 4 minutes gone here at the Horsefall. Lucas Dunstan with the ball in his hands. Ted Lavelle shows feet, and he receives it. 1-2 between Dunstan and Lavelle. Shanks just plays a slight wayward pass in the midfield. It's intercepted by Baxter, and Baxter looks to play it down the line, but it does run out, much to Lancaster's appeals. The referee eventually gave it along with the help of his assistant. Dunstan will once more take a throw-in just in front of me here, inside the Bamber Bridge half. Plenty of bodies back for Bamber Bridge. Connor Shanks shows feet, and again plays a first-time pass back to a Dunstan, who then goes backwards towards Lancaster, who then turns back and looks to play forward now into the half of Bamber Bridge. Fantastic touch from Jordan Preston as that pass went forward. Preston looked to play Harrison Hopper, who thought he was impeded, much like the bench of Park Avenue, but no foul given, and Bamber Bridge regained the ball. Now it's a nice play from Billy Bold. Just retains possession for Bamber Bridge as they go back to goalkeeper James Pradich. Pradich with some time on the ball goes out wide to the right-hand side once more to Churchman, who goes back to Pradich, and Pradich goes long. to nobody, holding up in the wind, playing a real part today. Potentially a hand on Ted Lavelle's shirt there. He does really well to regain the ball and plays it back to Lancaster, back to Lavelle and out to Whiting. Some nice early play from Park Avenue in terms of retaining the ball. Going out to Lewis Hay on the left-hand side. We've seen him play numerous amounts of positions there. Some fancy feet from Osadibe. Fantastic link-up play between him and Connor Shanks there. But Connor Shanks' return pass couldn't quite find Osadibe, who was driving down the left-hand side. And Bamber Bridge regained the ball, looked to go long. And Whiting does really well to use his strength there. But a poke of the ball from the Bamber Bridge foot manages to find the head of Will Lancaster. Connor Shanks now on the ball in midfield. Nice little turn, fantastic feet from Connor Shanks. But Bamber Bridge will clear. And there's a foul there, I believe. Push in the back, quite blatant on Jack Whiting there from the number 9 of Bamber Bridge, Ewan Bange. Bange has 3 goals in all competitions this season for Bamber Bridge. He's leading the line, of course, today for the Tide side in yellow as Dunstan now drives forward. And it's a fantastic run from Hopper. Dunstan did really well to drive across the halfway line, but there's just a bit too much on that pass from Hopper. But Hopper does really, really well to get right towards the byline and play it out instead of going for a goal kick. Oh no, it did go out for a goal kick. The linesman has confirmed. Unfortunately, there's just a bit too much on the pass from Lucas Dunstan, who did really well to drive 25-30 yards up the field across the halfway line and tried to play Hopper in behind on this right-hand side, but the ball unfortunately just ran out as Pradic has the ball at his feet now. Pradic looks to go long, looking forward to the big striker Bange, and his header will just find no one other than Dunstan, who hoofs the ball downfield up into the grey sky. Jordan Preston looking to be a nuisance up there, but unfortunately it's shielded well from Bolton Wanderers loanee Lamine Toure. The ball will run out for a Bamber Bridge goal kick. James Pradic, the goalkeeper on loan from Preston North End at the moment, 18 years old. A big unit in that goal. It'd do well to beat him today, but if Bradford Park Avenue have the same shooting boots that they had on last weekend at Macclesfield, then we're hoping that we'll see a few goals go past him today as he plays forward today. And the wind once more holding it up, but it'll go out for a throw-in for Bamber Bridge on this left-hand side. Adam Dodd to take. Mackenzie O'Neill shows feet, but Adam Dodd goes no and tries to throw it a little bit deeper, and Connor Shanks wins the second ball off his head, and it'll just trickle out for another Bamber Bridge throw-in. Just inside their own half down, probably halfway. Dodd with plenty of time with the ball in his hand so far. Quite a few throw-ins on this right-hand side for either side. At the moment, no clear-cut chances as of yet. Dodd with some nice feet there to beat Ted Lavelle, and he manages to get the ball out from the left-hand side over to the right, but it's a sloppy touch from right-back and experienced Chris Churchman. It's picked up by Chinedu Osadibe, who does some fantastic little step over, perhaps one too many. He tried to brush past the right-back Churchman, and unfortunately Churchman regained the ball. Bamber Bridge now comfortable with what they've got. Now, ball bouncing around scrappy in the middle, but it'll be Macaulay Wilson that regains the ball, and he looks to go forward, but it's intercepted by Park Avenue's Whiting, who looks to Lewis Hay, and he's been fantastic since arriving at the club on dual registration. The ball comes out onto this right-hand side, and Dunstan looks for Hopper's feet. Hopper does well right on the halfway line there, and he's impeded there by Adam Dodd. Just a slight pull on the shoulder, definite foul right in front of the referee, and perhaps a chance for Park Avenue to get a ball into the box from the halfway line area. No, I think they'll go short. Dunstan goes short into Shanks, and Shanks will go back to centre-half Will Lancaster, who looks to find his options, and he finds his fellow centre-half Jack Whiting. He has no further options, so he goes back to Halifax Town loanee and goalkeeper Tom Scott, who goes to Will Lancaster, who's in a little bit of trouble. Had to beat 2 men to find his way out of defence, but did well to find Connor Shanks. But Connor Shanks couldn't quite get the ball out of his feet and find a pass, and he will find nothing but the touchline as the ball goes out for Bamber Bridge throw-in, which they're taking quickly now. Jack Baxter on the ball, looking forward, looking for Scarborough here, who's got his back to goal. He's one-on-one with Will Lancaster here, and he plays it back to Adam Dodd, the left-back for Bamber Bridge, who then goes back once more to Baxter, the left-footed central midfielder. He's forced all the way back to captain Macaulay Wilson. Fantastic pressing from Park Avenue. Jordan Preston leading that press. Of course, scored 2 goals, his first 2 goals of the season last week at a fantastic performance at Macclesfield. The ball is headed forward from a long kick of Pradic. And perhaps a foul there on Labastide. The referee says no, and the ball's hoofed long by Lewis Hay, and it'll be regained by goalkeeper James Pradic of Bamber Bridge. 11 minutes gone here at the Horsefall, still 0-0. Bamber Bridge just with a little bit of time on the ball, and it's Churchman over on that right side with a little bit of room to drive, perhaps. Goes in from the halfway line, in field, sort of towards the midfield area. And Lamine Touré looking to drive up Jordan Preston just fantastically well to get back and challenge the young centre half, and pokes it out of play. Bamber Bridge to throw in just a moment. Halfway into the Park Avenue half. No shots in the game as of yet. Neither team yet to find a real grip in terms of possession and going forward with it. As Adam Dodd plays a little 1-2 with Harry Scarborough, and Scarborough now drives infield, finds Baxter, who plays it back out onto this left-hand side. And he goes inside to O'Neill, and back to Dodd, and Dodd to Scarborough, and well played here from Bamber Bridge. He finds Billy Bald, and Billy Bald then goes back to the left-back Dodd, who looks to curve a ball around behind the defence, and it's bounced off Jack Whiting at the back of Park Avenue's defence and just nicely into the hands of goalkeeper Tom Scott, who rolls it quickly out onto this right-hand side to Will Lancaster, who then looks to play it infield. Great ball from Will Lancaster, showing that he has, of course, experience in playing in midfield as well as centre-half, which he's playing in today. Some fantastic ball-playing ability as the ball goes forward. Some instructions going on from the bench of Park Avenue. Plenty of changes. Dunstan coming in, throws the ball, little 1-2 with Lavelle, and he does really well. Dunstan to play a first-time ball that frees Jack Whiting in plenty of space, that then goes out to Lewis Hay on that left-hand side, and he puts the ball into the box. It was a fantastic little ball, but it just couldn't quite get near anybody. And the ball was cleared, and O'Neill did well to get to the ball first, but it was a clear hand there, and the referee agrees. And it's in a similar position to where Lewis Hay found the back of the net last week. Now, I think there'll be no argument as to who's going to take this one. Although Harrison Hopper perhaps just lingering around the ball, but Lewis Hay comes over and I think says, I'll take this one. Probably around 25 yards out. James Pradic in goal for Bamber Bridge, just lining up his wall. Big striker, Ewan Bange in that wall. Lewis Hay, of course, will look to test the goalkeeper here at least. Hopefully find the back of the net. As the referee blows his whistle and Hay steps up, bends it over the wall, and there's just too much on it, unfortunately. Beats the goal over the crossbar, and Pradic will not be worried with that. But that's the first shot of the game there from Park Avenue, a free kick from around 25 yards out. First sort of semi-chance. Nothing in it for either side yet. 14 minutes in, 0-0 here at the Horsefall, as Pradic will just slowly get set up for his goal kick that I'd imagine he plays short to captain Macaulay Wilson. Wilson goes long, looking for Scarborough, and Scarborough with a little flick on, finds Bange, and Bange's return pass is just a little bit loose, and Connor Shanks looks to press on the back line of Bamber Bridge, and Bamber Bridge have to clear to the halfway line, but Baxter does well to regain the ball, and he goes out wide to Adam Dodd. Adam Dodd looks to go in behind Lucas Dunstan on this right-hand side, and Mackenzie O'Neill was chasing. But Lucas Dunstan did really well to win the header there, as Billy Bald picks up the ball on the left-hand side and wins a throw-in for Bamber Bridge. Left back Dodd will get us back underway here. He throws the ball inside, plays a 1-2 with Scarborough, and Dodd looks to drive inside. Scarborough with a little bit of room there. Baxter picks up the ball, and now little dancing feet, does well. Here's Billy Bald's first shot for Bamber Bridge, and it does not test Tom Scott. Straight at him, well collected from the man in red for Park Avenue today, number 1, Tom Scott. Here once more, rolls out nicely to Will Lancaster, see what he can do. He now goes looking to go over the top, finding Osadibe, but no, it's cut out by Lamine Toure, whose header is then collected by another Halifax loanee, Ted Lavelle. Lavelle plays it out left-hand side to Hay, who just plays it over across the halfway line to Connor Shanks, who again, fantastic on the half turn, but just perhaps a little bit too much there from Shanks. He lost the ball and did foul his man, but the referee plays his advantage as Bamber Bridge keep the ball. Billy Bold here goes to Churchman, a little 1-2, and Billy Bold has a little bit of time here, just inside the Park Avenue half. Bamber Bridge looking to go forward now as Churchman driving down the right-hand side. It's well intercepted there from Whiteman with a sturdy challenge to put the ball out of play, halfway into the Park Avenue half. As the ball comes in to O'Neill, and O'Neill with a sloppy touch, the referee points for a Park Avenue throw-in. Nicely for Park Avenue to reset and get the ball back forward in possession. Whiting to take the throw-in. He goes long looking for Osadibe, but Osadibe fouls his man. It's deemed by the referee. And Macaulay Wilson will take this free kick just inside his own half. No, I think he'll receive the ball short from Churchman. He will. Macaulay Wilson now with a little bit of time on the ball goes to Baxter and Churchman. And that's a fantastic little bit of play for Bamber Bridge, looking to try and get out, but really well worked there from Osadibe. He did well. And Connor Shanks now going in behind on the left-hand side. Connor Shanks driving into the area. Connor Shanks, can he play a ball across? He does. Jordan Preston. Oh! And that is a chance that could be... he's got to score. Does he have to score? The ball comes across. It was actually Lewis Hay, I do apologise, that played a ball. He was driving into the area down the left-hand side. He cuts the ball back, and Jordan Preston's there in a load of space. Free shot on goal. He takes that shot, and it just comes off the outside of the right post. You've got to feel like he could have scored there and continued his form. As now Bamber Bridge go forward as Billy Bold tries to drive past his man, and free kick given against Will Lancaster. No contact there, but I think he was still deemed to have impeded his man, and that was a massive chance, without a doubt the biggest chance in the game for Bradford Park Avenue. Jordan Preston it fell to, and it probably should be 1-0 here at the Horsewall, but it's not. 0-0 after 18 minutes. Chinedu Osadibe did really well to regain the ball there, and Lewis Hay drove down that left-hand side. The man in form, Lewis Hay, and he put the ball across, but now Bamber Bridge going forward. They put a ball into the area, and it'll just trickle out for a goal kick for Tom Scott to take. Hopefully Park Avenue get another chance like that, so we will not have to regret that miss. Scott goes short to Lancaster out on this right, who goes long looking for Osadibe, but the big physical presence of Lamine Toure meets the ball once more. He looks like a real handful for Preston and Osadibe to deal with. Really big centre-half on loan from Bolton Wanderers. 2 balls on the pitch here. Hopper just gets rid of the other one, and a Dunstan takes the throw-in on around halfway. He goes long looking for Preston, but it's nowhere near, and Toure will just nod it calmly back to Pradich in the Bamber Bridge goal. Chinedu Osadibe continually pressing. Fantastic work from the number 9, and it earns Park Avenue a throw-in out on the left-hand side. Lewis Hay to take. He goes into Shanks with a little flick on, but Osadibe unfortunately isn't there, but he'll carry on pressing, and he can't play from Churchman. Osadibe being a real nuisance up there, causing a lot of problems on that Bamber Bridge backline, putting them under pressure to play balls that they perhaps wouldn't want to play. And the ball's played out into this left-hand side now for Bamber Bridge, nearly intercepted by Harrison Hopper, but Bamber Bridge do well to regain it and continue going forward now into the Park Avenue half as Scarborough goes for Toure, and Toure looks to play it down the line, but it's intercepted by the Dunstan. It sort of bounced off his chest and out for a Bamber Bridge throw. Dodd gets us back underway into Baxter, straight back to Dodd, and he looks down the line to O'Neill, who looks to beat O'Dunston, but O'Dunston does really well to shrug off O'Neill and play it to centre-half Lancaster, who looks to clear, but he can't go really further than 30 yards, where Adam Dodd receives the ball. But Hopper does well to get the ball out of play from there. Almost 21 minutes gone here at the Horsefall, 0-0. Without a doubt, the biggest chance of the game fell to Park Avenue just a few moments ago, as Jordan Preston perhaps should have scored. Shot on around the edge of the 60-yard box, hit the outside of the right post. Hopefully Park Avenue won't regret that miss, as Pradic has the ball in goal for Bamber Bridge. He goes out to his right back, Churchman, who then goes forward looking for the big centre forward, Bang. And apparently Bang has been fouled there by Jack Whiting. Jack Whiting, not the biggest of centre halves against quite a large striker in Ewan Bang. Apparently Whiting fouled him there over on that far side, and it'll give chance for Bamber Bridge to swing in a delivery. It'll be Baxter, perhaps, to put the ball into the box. All Park Avenue players inside their own box, except from a two-man wall of Connor Shanks and Miles Labastide, although Labastide leaves that wall now and just follows the runner of Billy Bold, I believe it is. No, sorry, it is Danny Edwards. And the ball comes in from Baxter and doesn't beat first man of Dunstan, who clears, and it'll run out for a throw in a similar area to where the free kick was taken, halfway inside the Park Avenue half, over on that far side on the right wing. Bamber Bridge will get us back in play now as they go throw forward, and Scarborough controls and looks to try and get in behind, but well worked from Lancaster there, who shrugs off Scarborough, and he plays it forward, and Labastide picks up the ball. Nice little flick to Lewis Hay, who looks to switch the play across onto this left-hand side, but it's cleared by Dodd, but regained by Park Avenue, who looks to play it over in behind for Osadibe or Preston, but the ball has to be cleared by Bamber Bridge, and throw in for Park Avenue or Dunstan to take just inside the Bamber Bridge half. Just a little bit more building in the game for both sides here. Both sides perhaps finding out how to use the ball a bit more effectively. But Bamber Bridge regain the ball, and Dunstan fouls O'Neill just before the halfway line. Here, the referee just pointing, saying, you're not taking that one that quickly, Bamber Bridge, as they look to try and get things underway. Perhaps just a bit too quick for the referee's liking. Baxter, the man on the set piece, once more goes out onto this left-hand side to Dodd, who picks up the ball and looks forward. Turns inside, beats a Dunstan, and great control by the big centre-forward Bange, and Edwards picks up the ball in midfield, and now out to Churchman, who's got a little bit of room on that right-hand side. Although, now he goes out wide to Baxter again, who whips a ball in with his right foot, and it's a great ball, and it bounces to the edge of the area where Scarborough has an effort on goal, and it's fantastically blocked by, I believe it was Ted Lavelle there. And the ball will just bounce once and twice through to Tom Scott, who now looks to get Park Avenue underway as he bowls one out onto this right-hand side to Harrison Hopper's feet. But a little bit of calmness on the ball allows him to turn back and find Will Lancaster, who plays a fantastic crossfield ball to the feet of Lewis Hay, who brings down a lovely touch. And Osadibe is now found across the halfway line, but his ball looking for Jordan Preston, unfortunately, is cut out by captain Macaulay Wilson, but Preston now regains the ball and finds Miles Labastide, and fantastic feat from Miles Labastide, who sits down two defenders, finds Chineso Dibe, and his shot is blocked by left back Adam Dodd. Fantastic from Miles Labastide there, who sat down two centre halves on his way to goal there, and did the unselfish thing of finding Osadibe, who was in space on the left hand side, but Osadibe's shot was blocked by the recovering defender of Adam Dodd. Good stuff from Park Avenue there, commitment at the top to regain that ball from the top, sorry. First line of defence is attack. And now Lewis Hay driving into the box down to the byline, and the ball unfortunately just runs away from him after playing a nice 1-2 with Preston. 25 minutes gone here, 0-0 at the Horsefall, but Park Avenue growing into the game now, doing more with it on that left hand side with Lewis Hay and Osadibe linking up well. Of course the best chance did fall to Preston, but that won't spoil it if these chances keep coming. Pradic in goal for Bamber is looking to get things started. He goes long. looking for Scarborough, but it's won by Lancaster, and it falls to Lancaster once more. He gets his foot in, perhaps impeded. No, and Scarborough looks to play forward. Now Bange, and now over to O'Neill, and O'Neill is intercepted by Lucas Dunstan. Harrison Hopper can keep control of the ball, and Scarborough looks to poke it past O'Neill, and Dunstan does really well to regain the ball off Harry Scarborough and puts it out for a throw-in just by the corner flag, 10 yards from the corner flag in the Park Avenue half. Bamber Bridge yet to really test Tom Scott in the goal, but the ball's now won by Connor Shanks, who drives forward and finds Miles Labastide, who's sort of just playing in behind the two strikers of Osadibe and Preston. He plays it back towards Harrison Hopper, and Hopper's brought down, and the referee agrees that yes, that is a foul. Now Hopper takes that free kick quickly. He goes crossfield to left back Lewis Hay, who then goes back to centre half Whiting, goalkeeper Tom Scott, and out onto this right hand side now with Lancaster. Lancaster goes into Connor Shanks, but Connor Shanks plays a nice little dummy because he knew it was going to the feet of Miles Labastide, but Miles Labastide's forward ball over onto that left hand side is wasteful. No one would ever get to that, not even Usain Bolt, and it just runs out for a goal kick for Bamber Bridge. Pradic with another goal kick, plenty for him this half in terms of ball at his feet, but in terms of saves to make, not much action for either keeper. Pradic goes long, and it's won well by Lancaster and picked up by Miles Labastide. He can't keep control of possession, but Lewis Hay, fantastic work over on the left-hand side. Him and Miles Labastide do really well to regain the ball, and now Connor Shanks picks up a ball in an area where he perhaps has space to drive into. He plays a 1-2 with Harrison Hopper on this right-hand side. Preston's got a bit of room in that back of the box, but Connor Shanks looks to just loft a ball over the top of the defence of Bamber Bridge, but unfortunately it beats everybody, including number 10 Jordan Preston of Park Avenue, and runs out once more for a goal kick. 0-0. You can really see the wind still playing an effect in the game now as Pradic goes forward with a big strike, and unfortunately for him it doesn't go past the halfway line. You can see the wind just playing with the ball there and pushing it back towards the Bamber Bridge half. Throw in for Park Avenue over on the halfway line on the left hand side. Lewis Hay will take. Looking for options, finds Connor Shanks' feet. A little 1-2 with Lewis Hay and turns back. Really good from Lewis Hay. We've seen it on the regular now from the young man. He has picked up the ball now again, and Preston comes short to receive the ball just on the halfway line and looks to go down the line to Labastide, who does really well to turn back inside. Fantastic feet from Labastide, but just a little bit too much. He beat two men, but perhaps tried to do a little bit too much, and Bamber Bridge regain the ball, now trying to drive forward. O'Neill picks up the ball on the halfway line, but his pass goes loose, and Miles Labastide picks up the ball again. Here's Lavelle. Lavelle goes forward to Osadibe, and it's 2-on-3 here potentially. But fantastic challenge from Lamine Toure, takes possession away from Osadibe. And the ball will go back to Pradic, who looks forward once more and kicks the ball straight out of play over on the right wing for him. The ball will be at left back, Lewis Hay, to take the throw in. Promising signs from Park Avenue in the past 10 minutes, really driving at that Bamber Bridge defence when the opportunity arises. Just want to see them test goalkeeper James Pradic perhaps a little bit more. Dunstan has the ball now for Park Avenue in zone half. Just his ball looking for Harrison Hopper, but Adam Dodd, the left back for Bamber Bridge, saw what was coming and managed to just get in front of Hopper and get his foot there first and put it out of play for a Park Avenue throw-in. Dunstan plays a 1-2 off the throw with Osadibe, and there was a foul there, and the linesman's given it, but the referee says no. The referee says no. Dunstan played forward there, looking for Jordan Preston, going one-on-one with Lamine Toure. The ball was in the air, and Lamine Toure had all his arms all over Jordan Preston there. The assistant referee over on this right-hand side was flagging, but the man in the middle, Paul Roots, said no. I mean, that looked fairly blatant to me. Unless they both had a hold of each other, that looked like it should have been a Park Avenue throw, but Bamber Bridge have the ball now, looking forward for big front man Bange. But the ball comes free, and Baxter will regain it for Bamber Bridge. And Bange now, and there's a bit of room on this left side for Dodd to drive into. Dodd looking to bend the ball into the box, and it's good delivery from left back Dodd, but it's cleared well from Will Lancaster. And Lancaster's clearance will go out to right back Churchman, and Churchman playing now 1-2 with left back, fullback, and Churchman playing a nice little dink over the top, perhaps a little bit too fancy of a clearance from a Dunstan. Doesn't quite get that right, and it falls to Dodd's feet. The ball still bouncing around on this left-hand side. Dodd does really well to beat a Dunstan once more, wearing the armband today, of course, a Dunstan, but the ball is cleared by Harrison Hopper, throwing for Bamber Bridge around this halfway line mark. 0-0 here at the Horsefall. Perhaps just trying to sneak a few more yards than they perhaps should do. The referee tells Adam Dodd, just go back a few more, please, to take that throw, and he gets it involved to Baxter, and great challenge from Labastide. Means that Lancaster can get a clearance in, and Lewis Hayes' head will be there first, but unfortunately it goes to a Bamber Bridge man, but that clearance then goes to Lewis Hayes, but his first touch is a little bit sloppy, and it goes to Jack Baxter, who then goes out wide to Churchman. That's a fantastic challenge from Jack White in there to stop big centre forward Ewan Bange going through, potentially to either get a shot on goal or to pull it back towards the penalty spot, where you'd have felt a Bamber Bridge man would have been running onto that to once more get potentially an effort testing goalkeeper Tom Scott. Corner for Bamber Bridge over on the right-hand side for them, right wing, and it will be Danny Edwards to take for them. A right-footed delivery, an outswinger. He goes short instead to Baxter. Baxter who picks up the ball just outside the area, and he's got a little bit of room. Baxter with a left-footed effort. Sort of almost unchallenged for a little bit there. Dunstan did eventually step out, but it bounced off Lewis Hay, did Baxter's left-footed strike. It didn't really get too far off the ground, probably just a foot off the ground. It bounced off Hay and out for a Bamber Bridge throw-in on the right-hand side. 32 minutes gone here in Bradford. The rain still coming down sideways, really, with the conditions affecting play. Throw-in goes, and that's twice now we've seen Churchman throw short, looking for the feet of Mackenzie O'Neill, and Mackenzie O'Neill just with a wasteful touch running out of play for a Park Avenue throw-in. That's just a repeating factor as Hay looks down the line and Preston can't quite get his head to it. Bamber Bridge looked to clear, and Connor Shanks does really well to regain the ball, and Osadibe gets his foot in there first instead of Lamine Touré, and Labastide will have some time on the ball. Preston looks to play this ball out onto the right-hand side, but it's intercepted by Dodd, but Dodd's first touch was sloppy. Dunstan managed to meet that first touch with a header that just ran through to the gloves of Pradich in the goal of Bamber Bridge. Here's a little bit of time on the ball. Bamber Bridge really trying to play out of the back, and it's clear to see that actually when they do try and go long going forward, it's quite hard for them to get out of their own half due to the weather conditions. The wind is really affecting play, but this time they do go long and manage to get the ball out of the box, but Dunstan does well to regain the ball, and Connor Shanks goes forward, beats two men, beats three men, and Osadibe, that's really unlucky from Park Avenue. Some fantastic play there. Dunstan won that header from the goal kick. Connor Shanks managed to twist and turn and beat Danny Edwards and Jack Baxter in the midfield. His ball in behind, looking for Chinedu Osadibe, who was perhaps just 1 or 2 yards offside. He was flagged, but chances still coming, hopefully, for Park Avenue here. And there's a stoppage in play here as Park Avenue's goalkeeper Tom Scott is sat on the deck. Not a good sign for the Halifax Town loanee here till the 3rd of January alongside Halifax counterpart Ted Lavelle, as there's a break in play for both sides here who go and receive a little bit of tactical information from either bench. So while there's a little bit of break in play there, we'll quickly recap on the half. The biggest chance of the game so far definitely fell to Jordan Preston's feet. Lewis Hay did really well to get into the area on the left-hand side, driving into the box all the way to the byline. He cut a ball back to around the 6-yard area, and you felt like Jordan Preston had to score. His effort just flicked off the outside of the right post. Could have been 1-0 there, perhaps should have been 1-0 there. That was definitely the best chance in the game. Since then, Park Avenue have been growing more and more with confidence. Good play from Osadibe, Labastide, Shanks and Hay, all getting time on the ball and driving towards that Bamber Bridge back line. but still 0-0 here at the Horsefall as Tom Scott is back on his feet and looks like he will be all right to continue. Playing from that offside decision will be captain Macaulay Wilson, who looks to go forward looking for Ewan Bange, who wins the flick down and goes to O'Neill, and O'Neill back to Bange, and Bange plays in behind. Here's Danny Edwards, shot on goal potentially, but he fluffed it. He should have definitely tested the keeper from there, and it goes wide of the right-hand post. Great chance there, potentially the best chance for Bamber Bridge. I think that was only their second, potentially third shot of the game. Danny Edwards did well to get in that position over on that right-hand side, and it just caught perhaps Park Avenue just a little bit off guard. Really well won from the long ball of Ewan Bange. His flick down found O'Neill, and he managed to flick the ball over to the onrushing Danny Edwards, but his shot was really wasteful as the ball goes forward from Tom Scott all the way for a goal kick, and it comes off Preston and will run out for a throw-in for left-back Adam Dodd to take. Under 10 minutes till half-time here at the Horsefall Community Stadium. Dodd's throw-in is wasteful. It's cut out by Ted Lavelle, and Lavelle looks to flick the ball forward for Preston, but it's won by the big frame of Lamine Toure. Toure goes forward into Bange, and Harry Scarborough now looks to push past Dunstan. He definitely beat him with the ball, but in terms of pace, shrugged past him, but the ball trickled out of play for a Park Avenue throw-in. Dunstan looking long. Preston bounced off Preston. The referee didn't know, but the linesman gives it a Bamber Bridge throw-in just in front of first team head coach Danny Whittaker here. Plenty of things for him to see. Obviously was there at the 4-3 game last week at Macclesfield, of course his former club, as the ball flies out just towards us here in the commentary area. Throw in for Lucas Dunstan to take on the halfway line. But yeah, plenty of things for head coach Danny Whittaker to think about as two balls are on the pitch. Dunstan just waiting. Just chips the ball into the hands of Kitman. Ian Dunstan will get us back underway. Plays a short throw in to Connor Shanks, and now perhaps playing themselves a little bit under pressure, but managed to get away with it. And there's a bit of room in front of them here if Ted Lavelle gets his ball right, which he just can't quite, but it's cleared from Baxter and finds Connor Shanks' feet, who's done really well to make himself a nuisance in that midfield today, really throwing his body everywhere and picking up the ball in areas that are quite effective as the ball goes forward now from Whiting to Osadibe's feet. Osadibe does really well to hold off Lamine Toure, something that the strikers have struggled with today, and he's fouled there from O'Neill. Free kick in the centre circle area for Park Avenue in the half of Bamber Bridge. Really well done from Osadibe there to shrug off the strength of centre half Lamine Toure. Lavelle will take. There's a run from Harrison Hopper in behind, and Lavelle looks for him, and there's a push in the back there, but the referee doesn't give it, and the ball now looking to come out of play. Danny Edwards finds the feet of Harry Scarborough, who then goes back to Churchman, and Churchman, the right back, looks to loop the ball forward, and Will Lancaster and Ewan Bange in a real battle there. Two big lads, but it's Bange who wins it this time, and now he sets out Churchman on that right side. Churchman just driving in field now, finds Danny Edwards, who could switch it, and he does switch it out to Adam Dodd, who's got some room. Can he swing a ball into the area? He looks to chip one in behind. It's a fantastic ball from him, but cut out really well from a Dunstan. Calls from handball from the Bamber Bridge players and bench, but the referee seems unwavered. The ball runs all the way back to Pradich from the clearance, all the way back to the goalkeeper of Bamber Bridge. And now there's some pressure on the back line of Bamber Bridge, who have forced into a clearance, but that ball will bounce around then in the midfield and find Danny Edwards' feet. He then pokes it out wide and looks for Lamine Toure, but that ball beats Lamine Toure. And a chance here for Labastide potentially in behind. No. Harrison Hopper with the ball in hand. I don't think he'll be the one taking the throw, and I think he'll loop it back, yes, to Lucas Dunstan. 40 minutes gone here in this first half, 0-0 at the Horsefall Community Stadium here between Bradford Park Avenue and Bamber Bridge. Park Avenue, you'd say, have had the better chances and potentially have been the better side, but yet to make a real impact in the game so far as the long throwing goes forward from a Dunstan. The flick-on's won by Osadibe, but can't find anybody and just will trickle over the touchline for a yellow throw-in. Bamber Bridge ball. Adam Dodd will slowly make his way to the mark and goes long looking for Billy Bowl, but Billy Bowl can't win the ball, and now Hopper trying to play a tidy little play with Osadibe. Osadibe does well to make a nice little flick, and Miles Labastide was definitely fouled there by Jack Baxter. Did really well around the edge of the area just to keep the ball under his own control after a good flick from Osadibe was received by Labastide, and Labastide definitely just received like a bit of a kick on the back of his heel there. I saw one, not one that we'd like to see from a Park Avenue perspective, but a chance now for Park Avenue to put the ball into the box. Lewis Hay over the ball again. He could test the keeper here. It's from almost the corner of the area out on this right-hand side. Hay and Hopper both standing over the ball. Hopper just having a little bit of word with the ref, protecting perhaps his younger teammate there from a bit of a kicking. As Hay sets up the ball. Two-man wall of big and small, O'Neill and Bange for Bamber Bridge. And Hay looks like he could potentially look to bend it in to the near top corner, this top right-hand corner. Will he test James Pradich? Hay steps up to the ball, bends it, looking over to the box, and it's a fantastic ball, but it's dealt with well by goalkeeper James Pradich, who dives to his right-hand side and pushes it out, and he's taken a knock to his head, potentially. He was stumbling around there. He doesn't look in the best shape. The referee stopped the game almost instantly. And the referee now having a chat with goalkeeper James Pradich, who did really well to deal with that dangerous ball from Lewis Hay. It was put across with Lewis Hay's left foot into that corridor of uncertainty, and it was dipping as well. But Pradich did really well with strong two hands to push the ball clear of the danger. 3 minutes left in the half here of normal time. Wind still blowing, rain still coming down. The referee drops the ball for Churchman to take, and Churchman's clearance goes nowhere with that wind playing part once more. Dodd one-on-one with Harrison Hopper. Hopper does really well to hold off the ball there, and he's fouled there by Dodd, and that's 1, 2, 3. How many fouls now in the past 10 minutes, especially going into this dangerous area of the Bamber Bridge half? Hopper's not happy as Dodd didn't allow him to get play started quickly. Now, Hopper leaves the set piece, and Dunstan is over the ball. Lavelle's in plenty of space, and he wants to receive the ball, and Dunstan says no, and turns out onto this right-hand side where Hopper will receive. Hopper goes back to Lavelle, and then perhaps just thinks he's got a little bit too much time on the ball, a little bit of a sloppy first touch, and the ball now goes out for a Bamber Bridge throw-in just in front of the dugout of Park Avenue. Dodd looks for Harry Scarborough, but the header's won by Hopper. Hopper goes up to Preston to Labastide, and Labastide looks to play a nice little chipped through ball over to the right hand side, and Harrison Hopper gets nowhere near the ball, but just absolutely all over centre half Macaulay Wilson there. Foul given for Bamber Bridge. Just by their own corner flag, the ball will be played long by captain Wilson. Wilson looking for the big centre forward Bange with a good first touch. Bange does really well to find Danny Edwards, and Danny Edwards' forward ball can't quite find a Bamber Bridge man, and it's cut out by Lewis Hay now, who drives down the left hand side once more, crosses into the Bamber Bridge half and cuts inside, beats Jack Baxter. He plays a fantastic ball to Jordan Preston, who's got some room here. He goes out to Harrison Hopper. Can he get a ball into the box? He can, and it's well won by Lamine Toure, but the ball's still in a dangerous area. It bounced off two heads in the box there from Bamber Bridge, but it's won again by Park Avenue in the Bamber Bridge half. Lancaster now on the ball. Labastide out to Harrison Hopper on this right side. Harrison Hopper with two men on him and does really well to beat both of them, but unfortunately his ball to Lavelle is cut out by Danny Edwards. Danny Edwards plays the ball back to Adam Dodd, who plays it once, and it bounces off Miles Labastide. He gets the ball back again, and he plays it all the way up into the grey sky and out for a Park Avenue throw-in. Dunstan looking to try and get things underway a little bit quicker here. Goes short to Preston. Preston goes back to Dunstan, back to Lancaster, and back to Scott in the goal of Park Avenue. Scott goes forward to Osadibe. It's controlled well and played out to the left-hand side where Hay will play the ball in behind here. Connor Shanks, can he play a ball into the box? Connor Shanks cuts back on his right foot. Connor Shanks, shot on goal! Save made by Pradich, and another good effort there from Connor Shanks. He's done really well in this half. Picked up the ball and really gone with intent, trying to get out that box of Bamber Bridge. That time, he was driving down the left-hand side. There were bodies in the box, but he chose to cut back inside from that left-hand side and played a shot into the bottom left-hand corner that was saved well by James Preddick. Corner ball here for Park Avenue. 1 minute. 1 minute. As 1 minute is added here just after half-time potentially, as the ball will be swung into the area. And Park Avenue gets the ball first. And it's still bouncing around. Labastide with a dink ball over towards the backstip, but I think the wind just took that out of play. 20 seconds left in this half. You think that that might be it. It's been a very interesting half in terms of Park Avenue. Perhaps should be 1, maybe 2 ahead. Definitely had the better chances in the game. It's been very rare that Bamber Bridge have actually had sight of goal. Their best chance probably fell to number 7, Danny Edwards, who went through after some tidy play going forward from O'Neill and striker Ewan Bange. His shot didn't even test goalkeeper Tom Scott in the goal for Park Avenue as he blazed it wide down the right-hand side. But something's gone on just here, just before the whistle. The referee just called play. I think clash of heads potentially. And the referee will check on Adam Dodd, who seems to be okay. It was Adam Dodd and Chinedu Osadive just involved in a collision just here before half-time. The best chance of the half, without a doubt, fell to Jordan Preston. I've mentioned it quite a few times. 0-0 here, but perhaps should have been 1-0 as Lewis Hay did really well to cut a ball back across the 6-yard area to find Jordan Preston. His shot with his right foot just kissed the outside of the right post. As we feel like we're perhaps just moments away from the half-time whistle here. Osadibe just taking some fluid on board. I think he also just took a slight knock to the face.
Excuse me.
And the ball's played forward by Adam Dodd. He goes forward now, and Bamber Bridge perhaps with a final chance before the half. I mentioned they haven't had that many chances, but Danny Edwards now driving in the box, step over, down to the byline, ball across, and it's shot on goal, perhaps blocked. Well done by Lancaster, who does really well to get his foot in front of that shot, because that was definitely Bamber Bridge's best chance that half. They had a couple of shots there just before the half-time whistle that has just gone 0-0 here at the Horsefall Stadium. It's been quite an interesting half. Bamber Bridge struggled to really get a real grip of the game. Only 2 chances of notice to talk for them. Park Avenue definitely been the better side, definitely using the ball with content. Connor Shanks has done really well in that midfield, really looked dangerous when he has been able to get on the ball and drive forward at the Bamber Bridge back line. 0-0 here at the Horsefall. I'm going to bring in OJ, Ollie Johnson now, and centre-half Mitch Lund to have a little chat about what they've seen in that half. Of course, 2 lads not involved today. Ollie, what do you reckon? What did you see that half?
Yeah, it's obviously tough conditions, but I think overall we've had the better chances. I think it's been quite congested, with them playing a diamond and us playing with wingers. So, but I think we've like Miles has picked up some good areas, like got in some pockets and got turned. And I think that's where those chances have come from. Yeah, like to say, I think Jordan's chance was Gilde's chance. So probably should be ahead, but it's promising signs really, I reckon.
Yeah, definitely. Mitch, what do you look at in the second half? Anything to improve on? Anything that's going to really win Park Avenue this game?
I think it'll be difficult second half with the conditions. Obviously, we've got it against us, but if we keep doing what we're doing there, trying to play through the middle, obviously play Jordan chin down, we might have some more chances. Like OJ said, we had the best chance there with Jordan, who really needs to be finishing that.
Yeah. Spot on. Well, I'll be back in for the second half in around 10-15 minutes. Cheers to OJ and Lundy there for joining us at half time. It's 0-0 here at the Horsefall Stadium between Bradford Park Avenue and Bamber Bridge. Hello and welcome live back to the Horsefall Community Stadium here for Park Avenue versus Bamber Bridge 0-0 here at half-time as both teams rejoin us out on the field. No changes as I've noticed yet. Quite a first half of football. Park Avenue did really well, perhaps the better side there with the better chances. Could they have been 1-0 up? Jordan Preston had a fantastic chance. Unfortunately, he hit the woodwork. But Park Avenue will continue to drive that last 20 minutes for them, really creating chances in the area. Connor Shanks has done well in the midfield, but the last chance of the half did fall to Bamber Bridge, who will be looking to grow into the game if they can. The wind is still coming down. I went out at half-time and instantly regretted it. The wind is ripping through you and the rain is just, well, it's just abysmal out there, to be honest. But both teams ready to battle once more for another 45 minutes to try and take home 3 points here in the Northern Premier League. Park Avenue under new first-team head coach Danny Whitaker. Oh, to be a fly on the wall here in his first half-time discussion. Yeah, 0-0 at the Horsefall. Last man of the 11, Chris Churchman, joined field for Bamber Bridge. He checks if both keepers are ready, both keepers are, both assistants are, and we are back underway here under the floodlights at the Horsefall in Bradford as Park Avenue get us underway and go out to a Dunstan who plays a ball inside that's a bit sloppy and it's now regained by Bamber Bridge, and Bamber Bridge have a chance just to catch Park Avenue off guard here, but Labastide does well to win the ball back off Danny Edwards, and now the ball is looped forward towards Lamine Torrey, who does well to be composed and receive the ball and play it out left to O'Neill, who plays a 1-2 with the big striker Banj, who then plays another 1-2 with Scarborough. They weren't on the same wavelength. And now Osadibe going in behind. Lamine Touré does well to be strong and out-muscle him. Pradic comes charging out of his goal, but can't meet the ball. The ball beats Pradic, but Lamine Touré does well to recover and get there first before Osadibe, who was not too far behind. No changes to report as of half-time. I'll run through the teams quickly if I can, as Bamber Bridge crossed the ball into the Park Avenue half, but it's regained by Whiting, and Whiting goes now to Hopper, who's just dancing in between there. Bamber Bridge half and the Park Avenue half. Whiting out to Lewis Hay, the man of the moment, scored a fantastic free kick last week. He's had a few dead ball situations, and he plays a ball into Connor Shanks, and Connor Shanks looks just play a nice little outside of the football to Osadibe, but it just goes on through to Pradic. So in goal for Park Avenue is Scott. The back line is a Dunstan who's got the armband today, and Lancaster, Whiting and Hay at left back. A midfield of Hopper, Laville, and just in front with Labastide. Connor Shanks. And the front three is Preston, Labastide and Osadibe as Bamber Bridge control the ball in their own half. Churchman playing it back to captain for them, Macaulay Wilson, and his clearance goes through all the way to Tom Scott in goal for Park Avenue. The lineup for Bamber Bridge is in goal Pradic, right back is Churchman, left back is Dodd. The two centre halves are Wilson and Lamine Touré, who had a dominant half as the clearance from Tom Scott can't quite find the desired target, and Bamber Bridge regain the ball now, and Baxter has the ball at his feet in midfield. Baxter, Edwards and Billy Bold, the midfield three for Bamber Bridge, with O'Neill, Scarborough and big striker Ewan Bange leading the attack for Bamber Bridge there. The two 11s that have come out for the second half, the same that started the first half. Now Lewis Hay picks up the ball in a dangerous area where he gets to drive into the half, and he looks to play a ball in behind the defence of Bamber Bridge. Just a little bit too much on it to find the onrushing Preston, but it's collected over on that far side, and now Preston goes inside once more, and here's Shanks now, who has the ball in midfield and finds Preston in a bit of space. Preston with a shot on the turn. Good little first touch, and perhaps he had a little bit more time there than he thought. Received the ball nicely with a first time touch on his left foot, on the spin, on a half volley, hit it with his right foot and blazed it over the bar. Could have perhaps set himself and taken a little bit of a better effort on goal, but good start from Park Avenue here. 3 minutes into the second half. Bamber Bridge gets back underway as the ball's played out by right back Churchman, who was just limping a little bit, perhaps picked up a bit of a knot, but his clearance went forward and was just nodded out of play for a Park Avenue, no, for a Bamber Bridge throw in, sorry. And Churchman just limping a little bit, but he'll come and collect the ball to get us back into play. Churchman still with the ball in his hands, goes short. Baxter plays it back to Churchman, and Churchman well pressed from Osadibe. He's done really well at that all day, pressing that back line. That's been a real positive for Park Avenue. It's been the first line of defence. Is that attacking line really done well to win the ball back on multiple occasions off the Bamber Bridge defenders? Churchman will get started again once more with a throw, and the big striker will get his head to it, Bange, and it'll bounce around in the midfield. Scarborough with the header. Scarborough can regain possession from his own header, and Bange's ball over crossfield to the left-hand side won't meet O'Neill or Dodd. And Dunstan looks to drive down the right-hand side now, and Preston does well. Great challenge from Torre. No. Foul given potentially? No. Throw in. Really well worked from Jordan Preston down that right-hand side. Did well to drive, but a fantastic recovery challenge from Lamine Touré. It's been a good performance for him. Perhaps one shaky moment in the first half, but he's done really well to be a physical presence, has the young centre-half. Only 19 years old, Lamine Touré at the back, but he's been really composed and shown real confidence in the heart of defence for Bamber Bridge. Park Avenue throwing on around halfway line. Dunstan to Lavelle, back to Dunstan. And the ball goes forward, cleared by Bamber Bridge. Lancaster looks to play it down the line, and it will eventually find Dunstan, potentially no. But Lavelle looks to try and fizz a ball in behind. And Lewis Hayes not happy with that out on this left-hand side. He had a lot of room. But instead, Lavelle tries to fizz a ball in behind for Labastide and Osadibe to equally have a go at chasing, but they were never going to get to that. The ball was thumped downfield by goalkeeper James Pradic, but the linesman had his flag up, and the referee will bring it back for the offside. Churchman looks to play ball in behind the defence of Park Avenue. Lavelle does really well to recover there with a challenge, but Danny Edwards now driving, dancing, foot back in from Hay, but Edwards retains position, looks to play a ball out onto that left-hand side. There's been a bit too many of that for Bamber Bridge today as far as they're concerned. Just a little bit too much on the pass in terms of trying to get into that final third, played the ball out of play. It was Danny Edwards there that was looking for on-rushing Adam Dodd on that left wing, but his pass just trickled past Dodd and out for a throw to be taken by Dunstan. Dunstan goes long looking for Osadibe. But Osadibe can't retain possession. Now Bamber Bridge looking to go forward. Bange, the big centre forward, with a big flick on. And the ball goes right up into the air, 60 yards into the air. And wow, Lewis Hay gave himself quite a lot of work to do there. He controlled the ball fantastically well, but unfortunately, Harry Scarborough was just lurking behind him to collect the ball and left Lewis Hay no option really than to pull him down just outside the area on this right-hand side for Bamber Bridge. Free kick to be taken on the right wing, 5 yards from the edge of the area. Two-man wall for Park Avenue. Hopper and Shanks in the set by Tom Scott. It'll be Baxter's left foot to put a ball into the box, and this would be a real kick into the teeth for Park Avenue. Would they rue those missed chances if Baxter can make a goal with his delivery here? But Baxter goes short now, but the referee says no, you don't, and the ball's in the net. It was a nice little play, but it would have helped if Park Avenue were playing, as the referee says, slow down. Baxter played it back to Churchman towards the edge of the area. Churchman played a ball over towards that back stick, and it was nodded into the goal, but the referee had already blown his whistle. And now Hopper and Shanks not quite happy with where Baxter's placing the ball. The referee comes over and has to redo his 10 yards, much to his delight. Baxter repositioning the ball. I don't think we'll see another set piece off the training ground. It's twice today that we've seen a little bit of a nifty set piece routine. Baxter left-footed ball, curved in, dangerous ball, flicked away. Great defensive header from Lucas Dunstan there, I believe it was, wearing the armband today. It was going towards that front stick area, and he managed to flick it all the way behind that back post, out for a Bamber Bridge corner to be taken by Danny Edwards. The most amount of sustained pressure Bamber Bridge have seen so far this game. 0-0 here at the Horsefall. 54 minutes gone. Ball comes in from Edwards. In swinger. Ooh, and Scott came, but he didn't quite get there. And it was another defensive header, I believe. And it's another corner now out on this right-hand side for Bamber Bridge. Don't think Edwards will be taking this one. I think it will be Baxter with an in-swinging delivery. And the wind is playing an impact, blowing towards the goal off Park Avenue here. Baxter with one arm raised. Curves the ball in, front post area again, flick on, bouncing around. How's that not ended in the net? Nobody knows. Looping around. Oh, and there's a head injury here. Lewis Hay goes down, clutching his face. The ball came in, dangerous area. 2 really dangerous set pieces. 3, in fact, if you include Baxter's free kick, that were looping in towards that front post area. Really nasty, in-swinging set pieces with the wind blowing towards the defence of Park Avenue. Not nice ones to deal with, but they were dealt with in the end, and the ball was cleared, and Lewis Hay eventually just took a knock to his face, but he seems to be all right there. The referee just having a chat with his linesman. I'm not quite sure what about. The referee will just get us back underway by dropping the ball at Baxter's feet, who looks to play a quick one in behind, and the ball goes into the net. 1-0, Bamber Bridge. They've caught us completely off guard. They're following the injury to Lewis Hay. The referee dropped it at the feet of Baxter. Baxter played it into the box where he found Billy Bold, and Billy Bold hit the ball from right to left across the 6-yard box, and it was met by Harry Scarborough here in the 55th minute. 1-0 Bamber Bridge. Plenty of work to do. Important for Park Avenue to keep their heads up. That is the best chance that Bamber Bridge have had. Park Avenue been the better side on the day, but like I mentioned, some sustained pressure from Bamber Bridge then. It resulted in a goal. It'd be interesting to see how Park Avenue reply. As we get back underway here. As Hay now picks up the ball, carries it from Park Avenue to Bamber Bridge half and looks to try and play the ball in behind for Preston. But the ball is cut out and out for a Park Avenue throw-in. It feels sort of unjust to be 1-0 down here after 55 minutes at the Horsefall Stadium. The referee dropped the ball at Baxter's head. Billy Bold. At Baxter's feet. Baxter played a first time. It was quite clearly something that they thought about. Played a first time effort into the feet of Billy Bold, and Billy Bold then played the ball across the 6-yard area to find the onrushing Harry Scarborough at the back post to poke it home into the roof of the net, where Bamber Bridge now lead. Lewis Hay with the ball. Now goes to Connor Shanks. Connor Shanks dancing, and the referee says that is a Bamber Bridge ball, as Churchman does really well to regain possession, poking it out off midfielder Connor Shanks. And with 57 minutes gone in this game so far, just over half an hour to go, it'll be interesting to see if Park Avenue can perhaps try and get their way back into this game in first team head coach's first game. Danny Whitaker, of course, has options on the bench if he wants to turn to. New signing Eddie Mayoko perhaps could play a part at some point today. Park Avenue still with the ball now here, throwing on the halfway line. Lewis Hay with the ball in hand. He goes short to Lavelle, and 1-2 finds Lancaster now at the heart of defence, and Lancaster drives forward now, and that's what you like to see from Will Lancaster in centre-half position, who plays a pass to Labastide, who flicks it on to Osadibe. Osadibe finds Connor Shanks. Connor Shanks with a bit of room finds Miles Labastide on the edge of the area. Labastide perhaps a little bit too much. Congested bodies, plenty of bodies around the area. Labastide's pass just went a little bit astray from Park Avenue bodies, and Dunstan brought down his man over on the left-hand side, Danny Edwards. Free kick, Bamber Bridge. 1-0 here at the Horsefall Stadium to Bamber Bridge. 58 minutes gone. Captain Wilson will play a free kick to left back Dodd on the left-hand side, and Dodd goes driving down the line with that ball looking for O'Neill. O'Neill won't manage to get there. And even if he did manage to get there, he would have been in an offside position confirmed by the assistant referee. Just to confirm, options on first team head coach Danny Whittaker's bench today: Reward Makona, Mason O'Malley, Harry Colville, Brad Doherty, and of course new signing Eddie Mayoko. Interesting to see if and when they will be involved today. Offside to be taken by goalkeeper Tom Scott, who plays it forward, looking for Osadibe, who does really well to control the ball with Lamine Touré on his back and beats one more man in the midfield, and now goes back to the defence of Park Avenue, where the ball now will find itself at Tom Scott's feet again, and his left-footed pass finds Lavelle, and Lavelle goes back out on the right-hand side to Lancaster, who's got a little bit of time on the ball, and Park Avenue just need to settle and really use the ball effectively if they can, and Lancaster with a looping ball forward, and that's not what the defenders of Bamber Bridge would like to deal with, and Preston is a real handful for Lamine Touré there, but Lamine Touré just does well to just slightly win that battle there. Great challenge from Lavelle over on that right side, puts the ball back in possession of Bamber Bridge, and Lewis Hayes first to the bouncing ball in midfield. Great touch from Harrison Hopper on the right wing, now halfway into the Bamber Bridge half. Can Harrison Hopper get the ball into the box? Does well to cut back inside, but he's got 2 or 3 men over on him. Does well to chip the ball inside to Preston. Was he fouled there? He was. Fantastic work from Harrison Hopper there. Had a lot to do, over on that right side. Had 3 men on him at one point. Did really well to find the pass to Jordan Preston, and he was fouled whilst doing it. Chance for Park Avenue to put the ball in the box and hopefully make things level here at the Horsefall Stadium. "60 minutes gone here, 1-0 Bamber Bridge. Lewis Hay to put an in-swinging effort into the area of Bamber Bridge. Throw over from that right-hand side. Left-footed Lewis Hay. A 2-man wall of Baxter and O'Neill. Come on, Lewis Hay. Puts the ball into the box now. Left-footed curling effort. Great ball. Headed away. Fantastic defending from Bamber Bridge. Labastide is the first one to the second ball. But unfortunately, Osadibe can't pick up the leftovers. And now Bamber Bridge are driving forward, and they have bodies going into attacking positions. Here is Churchman on the right-hand side. He's got people queuing up. If he can get his cross right, he can, but Bange is wasteful with his touch. There was 3 in the box there for him to aim at in terms of Bamber Bridge bodies. And Bange, his first touch, just couldn't quite get a hold of it, and the ball just ran through to the gloves of Tom Scott in the goal, thankfully for Park Avenue. Dunstan now playing it in between himself and Lancaster, who's got a bit of room, and Lancaster, we like to see him play the ball out onto this left-hand side where Connor Shanks will pick it up as Lewis Hayes just playing a little bit further forward now. But that's a poor touch from Lancaster, who does well to beat, I think it was Billy Bold there on the second challenge. But now Lancaster is out of position on the halfway line, and Bamber Bridge are driving down the left-hand side. Here's Dodd. Little burst of pace. Dodd gets a ball in. Edge of the area. Shot. Great save by Tom Scott. It was a shot there from, I believe it was Billy Bold. Potentially Billy Bold there, fouled Labastide. No, he won the ball back, and Baxter has a shot on goal. Left foot, Baxter has another shot at goal, and that goes flying over the bar. Another shot there, and another great save from Tom Scott is what we'd like to see for Park Avenue there. Adam Dodd did really well for Bamber Bridge to drive down that left-hand side with the ball. Beat everybody, had a load of room to run into. He could have crossed the ball, but instead he opted to play the ball back towards the edge of the area where Billy Bold was waiting, and his shot, looking for that bottom left-hand corner, was saved by the strong right boot of Tom Scott in the Park Avenue goal. Lewis Hay does really well to take Danny Edwards out of the game after receiving the goal kick from Tom Scott. He looks to play a 1-2 with Osadibe, unintentionally almost, but Hay did regain the ball, but then his pass was wayward, trying to find Harrison Hopper. Bamber Bridge poked the ball out for a Park Avenue throw-in. Dunstan to take over on the right side, halfway in his own half. He goes short to Lavelle, and then back to a Dunstan, then to Lancaster. And if Park Avenue can just get this ball out of the defence and play it a little bit quicker. Whiting now receiving the ball and looking forward is the centre half. He plays a left-footed pass short towards Lewis Hay, and Hay turns back to Whiting, but Whiting just went a little bit sloppy. One too many touches, got the ball stuck under his feet, had no choice but to go back to goalkeeper Tom Scott, who then had to kick the ball right up into the dark sky now as the sun's definitely gone away, or what little sun we had here in Bradford this afternoon. Park Avenue with the ball in their own half. Dunstan looking to play a wonder ball. Crossfield, Preston. Can you make a difference there? He can. Fantastic ball from Lucas Dunstan. It's missed by Churchman, and Preston will pick up the ball on the left-hand side. Preston inside to Lavasi. Preston here. Shot on goal. Blocked. But well done from Jordan Preston there. Good work out on this left-hand side. Managed to get himself in a shooting position, and that's what Park Avenue need. They need shots on goal if they're going to get themselves back into this game. Tom Scott plays a ball. Now Park Avenue could be in trouble. The ball was all the way back at the goalkeeper's feet. Tom Scott, who played a ball looking for his Halifax man, Ted Lavelle. But Lavelle was beaten to it first, and luckily Harry Scarborough decided to snatch at the effort, looking for his second goal of the day. And he couldn't quite find the back of the net. Ran out for a goal kick quite comfortably. That was Harry Scarborough's 5th goal of the season in all competitions for Bamber Bridge. He now leads the rankings in terms for them, as Lewis Hay will pick up the ball on this left side. He's gone one-on-one with Lamine Toure, who's out of position here. If Park Avenue can slightly take advantage of that, as Lavelle looks to play it to Shanks, and Shanks again turns. Fantastic mobility there from Shanks, who's on the right-hand side now. Cuts back inside. Can he do something with the ball? No, it's well defended by Dodd, who regains the ball. But Bamber Bridge just can't play it out from themselves, and the ball will run out for a Park Avenue throw-in. More chances for Park Avenue to come, hopefully. Need to use the ball to the best of their ability, as Dunstan will take the throw-in out on the right side at the halfway line. "65 minutes gone here at the Horsefall. 1-0 Bamber Bridge, thanks to a 55th minute goal from Harry Scarborough. That meant that the team from over the Pennines lead here in Bradford on a very wet and windy day. Park Avenue still in this game though, still plenty of time for them to try and get back level. Whiting plays the ball off Danny Edwards for a throw-in for himself, and Danny Edwards not happy with himself there, but Hay back to Whiting, and now Lancaster with the ball at his feet at the heart of Park Avenue's defence, looking to play a ball forward, and does well to find Hay, who drops his shoulder one way and goes to the other, plays a ball in behind. Can Harrison Hopper get there? Left-footed ball across the box. Yes, he can. Great ball across the area, but it's cleared by left-back Dodd. That was really good work from Harrison Hopper there, who played a fantastic ball across, looking with his left foot from the left-hand side towards the penalty area. But now Harry Scarborough's driving forward into the Park Avenue half for Bamber Bridge. It's really well regained from Lewis Hay there, and the ball is cleared by Will Lancaster and regained by Bamber Bridge here with Danny Edwards playing it back to right back to Churchman, who then goes back to goalkeeper Pradich. Good work there from Harrison Hopper. That is exactly what you want to see from a Park Avenue perspective, as Pradich, the goalkeeper of Bamber Bridge, looks to go long, too long, very long, out for a throw-in. Right in the corner for Lewis Hay to take, literally. Oh no, it'll be Jack Whiting, I think. Lewis Hay perhaps on the flick on. Lewis Hay, not the smallest lad. Linesman and referee seem a little bit happy for Whiting to almost take 10 yards from where the throw-in actually did go out, as the ball goes forward now, and Shanks trying to be a nuisance once more in that midfield, but can't quite get a hold of the ball, and the ball goes forward from a Bamber Bridge body once more, and it goes out for a goal kick. And Tom Scott gets us going quickly now, looking for Lancaster, who has time to bring the ball out of defence on that right-hand side. Can he find a pass? Where's he looking? He looks long. He goes forward, looking for Osadibe potentially. He's got to go one-on-one with Torre, but that ball will just go out of play. Looking at the wind, making an impact. Signals from the bench just in front of us from head coach Danny Whitaker. Interesting to see what he's going to change. 67 minutes gone here at the Horsefall. When will we see that first change from the new man in charge? Bamber Bridge now with the ball over on the left side in their left back position. Go long looking for Bange, and Bange can't quite get there. Whiting does really well to get there first, and the ball is played up into the night sky once more, and bouncing around. Scrappy game a little bit in midfield, and Scarborough does really well to drive at the ball and get there first, and gets there. Bamber Bridge, can they get a ball into the area potentially? Here's the striker, who's not where Bamber Bridge would like him to be. He's almost all the way on the byline here on the wing. They go back to centre half, and captain Macaulay Wilson, who's ball down the right hand side, can't quite find goal scorer Harry Scarborough, And then we will see a substitution here, I believe, as the linesman put his flag up for the signal. And yes, it seems that we will in just a moment. It'll be a Park Avenue throw-in halfway into their own half when the ball does come back into play. And it will be new signing Eddie Mayoko to see if he can make an impact. Of course, announced at just 2 o'clock this afternoon. He was on the bench, number 17 coming on. And who will he be replacing? I'll tell you in just a moment when I can see the board itself. Harrison Hopper, who did really well just a few moments ago down this left-hand side to put the ball across into the area. But that's Harrison Hopper's day done. He done well, can hold his head high. Good performance on that right-hand side and good contribution across the pitch defensively and offensively. But now it's time to see what Eddie Mayoko can do. He's got gloves on. He's got number 17 on his back. Can he make the difference, the new signing? As Whiting will get us back underway here with a throw-in on the left-hand side. Labastide with a flick on that actually managed to go back towards his own goal. And now Bamber Bridge regain the ball and O'Neill picks up the ball on that left side, finds Dodd the left back, Dodd to Baxter, Baxter back to Dodd, just on the halfway line for Bamber Bridge, back to Baxter now, who has a bit of time, but good press from Connor Shanks, who's got a bit of fire in his step, but just sidestepped by Macaulay Wilson, who plays a good ball forward to Nick O'Neill, and now space down that left-hand side for Harry Scarborough, just a bit too much on the pass from O'Neill, but now Dodd's got a chance to put the ball in the area, great ball, great save, what a save, goal, the ball ends up in the back of the net for Bamber Bridge's second. And I can't quite tell who the goal scorer is yet, but just a little bit more on the goal. The ball attack went forward from centre-back Macaulay Wilson, who played a great ball forward that split the midfield wide open into Mackenzie O'Neill. O'Neill then played the ball left out to Harry Scarborough. There was perhaps a little bit too much on that pass, but Scarborough then played the ball back to Dodd, who played it first time into the area. There was a great header from Banj, I believe it was. Save was made by Tom Scott. But unfortunately, Tom Scott couldn't do enough to keep out that second effort. Do we know score? I'll tell you who scored the goal in just a moment. It was a cluster of yellow bodies, and initially Tom Scott did really well to keep the ball out, but it is 2-0 Bamber Bridge here at the Horsefall Stadium. Lots of work to do as Bamber Bridge receive a throw-in on the halfway line. Ball bounced around and cleared by Lancaster. 2-0 Bamber Bridge. So much work to do for Park Avenue if they're going to get any point from this game. Well worked from Lewis Hay, but no, unfortunately, Bamber Bridge do regain the ball on Lamine Toure. Did he foul Connor Shanks there? Connor Shanks believes so, but unfortunately not. Bamber Bridge going forward once more. Labastide in the left-back area now. And the ball goes back to Tom Scott, who loops the ball forward, looking for Preston, who can't quite get there, and Lavelle will receive the ball in the midfield for Park Avenue. His ball down the left-hand side will run out of play just in front of the area of Bamber Bridge, just in front of manager Jamie Milligan. And just to confirm, the goal scorer for the second goal of Bamber Bridge, it was Billy Bold, number 8, just for arriving late in the area to just, be a real poacher on that save that Tom Scott made. It was a really good save, hard header low to the ground, and Scott did well to keep the first effort out, but unfortunately couldn't keep the ball in his grasp, and Billy Bold on rushing to poke the ball home for Bamber Bridge's second of the afternoon. Churchman with a throw-in now on this side. Do you know what minute? Yes. Bold, the goal scorer, in the 71st minute. 28 minutes gone in this half. Labastide with the ball in his hands. It'll be Whiting, in fact, to take the throw-in. He does take the throw-in, looking for Osadibe. Osadibe does well to regain ball, get the ball under his spell, but can't find Preston. Preston's not happy. Not quite sure what with. There's 2 balls on the pitch again for the 3rd time this afternoon. As now Dunstan looks to drive the ball out of defence and he finds Lavelle, and Lavelle goes down the right hand side looking for new signing Mayoko, and what can he do? Here's his first touch of the ball. It won't. It will go out for a throw in for Park Avenue, and he'll look to receive the ball from a Dunstan's throw, but a Dunstan then goes to midfielder Lavelle, and a Dunstan now plays the ball out into this left hand side, and Lewis Hay's got real work to do to get there, and he did get there first, and he was fouled by Danny Edwards. Really good work from Lewis Hay. Fouled just 10 or 15 yards, maybe 15 or 20. I think he stole a little bit with the rolling that he did after being fouled. And chance for Park Avenue to put a ball into the box. No, Connor Shanks goes short to Lavelle. Now Shanks with a little bit of room to drive into going forward. He goes out left to Labastide. Labastide, dancing feet, does really well. He's fouled, definitely, but the referee plays advantage. Now Connor Shanks with the ball. And what's it gone out for? It's gone out for a throw-in just by the corner flag on this left-hand side for Park Avenue. Almost 75 minutes gone here at the Horsefall 2-0 Bamber Bridge. Need to see something soon in terms of a goal for Park Avenue if they're going to get anything from Danny Whittaker's first game in charge. Churchman to take the throw in now for Bamber Bridge, and nearly another ball on the pitch, but well intercepted by Kit Manny, and there he was on the ball to stop that one from going onto the pitch. Bamber Bridge looking to try and get out. That must be a high foot there. No, and that'll be a Bradford Park Avenue throw in just on the halfway line. Whiting looking for options forward, looking for Labastide, but there's just not enough on it. That throw in from Whiting, and now big centre forward Banj will pick up the ball, and Edwards has room to drive down this right hand side, looking for a ball. Great run from O'Neill over on that left hand side in the area here. He picks up the ball 1-on-1 with the Dunstan. The Dunstan does really well to stand him up, but O'Neill beats him once, turns back, ball across. Well defended from Will Lancaster. Dunstan eventually gets the ball clear to Preston's feet. Preston with a great touch here to Connor Shanks, and this could be the chance for Park Avenue to get back in it. Great challenge from Macaulay Wilson, the centre half and captain for Bamber Bridge. That really did shut any chance of Park Avenue getting back into this. And now Baxter goes forward, but he is tackled as well by the midfield of Park Avenue. There was a chance for a 3-on-2 there for Park Avenue, but Wilson did really well to cut that out. And now Bamber Bridge looking to try and get forward. A Dunstan with the ball in his own area, and you don't want to be playing around here. Goes back to his goalkeeper, Tom Scott, who can't get rid of that quick enough, really. His clearance doesn't go very far, just about leaves the area. Now Dodd picks up the ball. The left back for Bamber Bridge looks inside for Harry Scarborough, then goes back to his captain and back to Lamine Toure, the Bolton Wanderers on low man. He now looks to drive forward himself a little bit, the young centre half, and he does 30 yards almost and goes inside to big centre forward, Ewan Banj, but his ability on the ball is closed down by the centre halves of Park Avenue. Now it's Macaulay Wilson's turn to drive forward with the ball, but he is shrugged off it by Lucas Dunstan. Armband on armband there. Park Avenue with the ball in defence. Will Lancaster playing a ball into Lewis Hay now. Lewis Hay definitely moved into a more central position. Something has changed in terms of shape here for Park Avenue. Miles Labastide playing much wider out on this left-hand side, looking to receive the ball a bit deeper when the situation arises. Lewis Hay definitely playing in midfield now. Whiting looks forward down this left-hand side where Labastide is and leaves Churchman with no choice but to clear the ball. Throw in about 30 yards into the Bamber Bridge half, as we'll see another substitution to be made here, and it'll be on the Bamber Bridge side this time as 17, Sonny Sharples, looks like he will be coming onto the field. Sonny Sharples, another Bolton Wanderers loanee, just like Lamine Toure. He'll be coming on and seeing if he can solidify the result for Bamber Bridge. Yeah, and Mackenzie O'Neill will be coming off the field. O'Neill, of course, scored 2 goals last week. Couldn't quite make such an impact today, but has certainly had an impact in getting Bamber Bridge a 2-goal lead. No goals or assists in terms for him, but some good work in terms of leading towards that second goal. He's replaced by Sonny Sharples, the Bolton Wanderers loanee, as Park Avenue get the game back underway with a throw-in as Whiting finds Labastide. Labastide does well to keep the ball in play. And Lavelle's got a bit of room here if he wants to take a shot, but he doesn't. He goes back to a Dunstan who's got plenty of time to take his time, find an option. He goes over the top looking for Hayes. There a little bit too much on that? There is, and it goes out for a goal kick, and that's disappointing for Park Avenue and slightly wasteful as we go into just 12 minutes to go here, the 78th minute of regular time. The referee just making sure that James Pradich in the Bamber Bridge goal, make sure he gets a move on. It might be 2-0, but this game is still alive. It will only take a moment of brilliance, hopefully, from Park Avenue for the game to be back on, pushing the back for there from Whiting. I think Scarborough went down a little bit too easily there. The ball will run from goalkeeper to goalkeeper all the way through to Tom Scott in the Park Avenue goal, and he goes short to Whiting, who's got some room here. And can Whiting find a pass on this left side? Whiting looks to go forward. Header won by right back Churchman of Bamber Bridge, and Miles Labastide picks up the ball and tries to go past Danny Edwards and does eventually poke the ball past Edwards and looks for Preston, but it's cleared by Macaulay Wilson at the heart of the Bamber Bridge defence. Their clearance will end up all the way back at Tom Scott in the goal of Park Avenue, but now Park Avenue look to go forward down this left-hand side. Preston receives the ball, goes back from the Bamber Bridge half into his own and plays a fantastic ball out to that right-hand side. Lovely technique from Jordan Preston there to Lucas Dunstan. Dunstan picks up the ball, turns back, checks himself, goes back to Connor Shanks, and Connor Shanks nearly played a fantastic ball in there to Preston, and ball's played there from there, and free kick's given. Free kick is given by Osadibe. Fantastic interception from Bamber Bridge, but the ball fell to, I believe it was Connor Shanks again there, and he played Osadibe, who Osadibe managed to cut inside and was impeded just before entering the area on that right-hand side. That was a chance, you feel like, if he'd have got inside the area for Park Avenue to perhaps pull one back. But now there's another chance for Park Avenue to put a ball into the box. Of course, it's set-piece man Lewis Hay to put the ball in the box. Can he put the ball in the corridor of uncertainty, or can he put the ball in the net much like he did last Saturday? All Bamber Bridge bodies back in their own box apart from Danny Edwards. Hay whips the ball into the box. Deflection, looping. Ooh, and for a moment there, James Pradich in the Bamber Bridge goal was worried when he saw that ball after taking a deflection off the Bamber Bridge wall, looping towards the backstick, but it did go out for a corner for Labastide to take for Park Avenue, an out-swinging corner. Labastide, here he is, he takes the corner, whips it in, and it doesn't beat the first man, but it will go out for another corner. He'll get another go at that. Not great delivery from Labastide there, but the defending from Bamber Bridge was equal to that delivery. Labastide puts the ball into the box once more. It's bouncing around, didn't fly into the box that time, bounced at the front post, but did find its way to the back, and it was cleared by Bamber Bridge, and now Park Avenue have a throw-in just around the halfway line. Sorry, it's a Bamber Bridge throw-in, and Churchman gets it back underway and pokes it through the legs of Osadibe there, cheeky from Churchman. He looks to put it out on that left-hand side, and Dodd just goes past Eddie Mayoke. And there's Mayoko, his first touch on the ball. Here he is, driving, beats one, and manages to win himself a throw-in out on that right side, 10 or 15 yards into the Bamber Bridge half. Need Eddie Mayoko to really make an impact. Please, here he is, receives the ball from a Dunstan throw, and a Dunstan's return touch is not that good, and now Bange has got a chance and he pokes it past Lancaster, and Bange is 1-on-1 potentially with the keeper. Bange shot, goal, 3-0 Bamber Bridge, and that is game over, you'd feel. Bange seals it here in the 82nd minute, and that's it done. Off the back of a poor touch from Lucas Dunstan, and Bange seals it for Bamber Bridge. You'll be taking all 3 points back over the Pennines, you'd feel, this wet and windy Saturday here in Bradford. Just driving down that left side was Ewan Bange, the really tall striker, number 9, and goalkeeper Tom Scott just couldn't do much to affect that shot, just blasted towards the left-hand side of his goal, towards his right hand, and it just found the back of the net, and it's 3-0 here at the Horsefall Community Stadium, as we're back underway once more, and Park Avenue just can't retain possession. And now, how costly does that Jordan Preston miss in the first half feel at 3-0 down? As Danny Edwards drives forward now for Bamber Bridge, could they get 4? They're looking for it. They certainly look more of the hungry side now as Edwards goes back to Churchman. Churchman with the ball to Baxter. Baxter to Churchman. And Churchman looking forward into Tom Scott, who clutches the ball in his chest. Tom Scott not had much to do in terms of saves, but he's had to pick the ball out of his net 3 times this half, unfortunately, for Park Avenue. The ball goes forward now for Park Avenue, and Bamber Bridge get the ball back in terms of their control. Lancaster with the ball at the back, and now people are leaving in terms of Park Avenue fans. You can see them slowly making their way towards the exit. Really frustrating, because in that first half, Park Avenue were without a doubt the better side, had without a doubt the better chances, but this second half, they've really been put to the sword. Goals from Harry Scarborough, Billy Bold and Ewan Bange have sealed defeat here at the Horsefall, you'd feel like. But there's still time left, just over 5 minutes of regular time left. We need a Christmas miracle here at the Horsefall, but Danny Edwards takes the ball down the right hand side for Bamber Bridge. He looks for Churchman on the overlap, but they just weren't quite on the same wavelength there, and Churchman's touch goes out of play for a goal kick for Bradford Park Avenue. Double substitution coming from Bamber Bridge now, and it'll be veteran Mark Cullen, I believe. Yes, it will be Mark Cullen to enter the field. Of course, played for Bradford City, over 200 EFL appearances for the experienced centre forward, wearing number 12 on his back. He'll be entering the field, of course, with Joseph Strawn. Leaving the field will be Billy Bold, goal scorer today, and Ewan Bange, goal scorer as well. So Bange and Bold leaving the field for Cullen and Strawn. And it changes up at the top end of the field for Bamber Bridge. Goal kick taken by Scott. We're back underway here. Scott put under pressure, and he goes out to the left-hand side to Whiting. Whiting, can he find a pass forward? He looks forward to Preston, but it goes over Preston's head, and Osadibe. Great control. Osadibe, one-on-one with Lamine Toure. It's a heavy touch from Osadibe, and he'll be made to regret that. But Lamine Toure, in fact, got that last touch on the ball as it went out for a Park Avenue throw-in. Just 10 minutes from the corner flag on this left wing. Park Avenue hoping, if they get a goal now, is there just a chance? If they get a goal in these next couple of minutes, is there a chance? Here's Connor Shanks. Connor Shanks looking to play a ball in field to the rushing Lavelle, but it's intercepted. Well read by Jack Baxter. He's had a good game in the midfield of Bamber Bridge. Lewis Hay's throw-in goes backwards towards Will Lancaster with a great turn. Drop of the shoulder. Lewis Hay intercepted there by Danny Edwards. Back to Lancaster. Lancaster finds his goalkeeper, Tom Scott. Tom Scott rushes his ball first time, and Dunstan does really well to get there in front of Sonny Sharples. Not seen much of Sharple since he entered the field, I don't think. Whiting looks long, and that wind will play a part there and just carry the ball out of play.
Substitutions just now. Bange and Bold.
And a substitution now for Park Avenue. Mars Labastide comes off the field, and he's replaced by Brad Doherty. Brad Doherty with not much time on the field to make an impact, but let's see what he can do. Header won by Whiting, and out for another Bamber Bridge throw in here for Churchman to take. Less than 3 minutes of regular time to play here in the second half. Won a header by Whiting, but now Danny Edwards looks to go in behind, and Tom Scott on rushing. The goalkeeper comes out of his area and does well to get there first, ahead of Danny Edwards. Puts the ball out. The best he can do is for a Bamber Bridge throw in. 3-0 here at the Horsefall to Bamber Bridge in what has been a disappointing afternoon for Park Avenue. Did really well in that first half with a better side, had the better chances, but were made to regret them in the second half. As Bamber Bridge look to go forward now, it's well controlled by Danny Edwards on the right wing, and he wins himself and his side, Bamber Bridge, a throw-in. as we go into the dying embers of this game. A cold, wet and windy day here in Bradford, and it'll be Bamber Bridge that are satisfied enough to go home with 3 points back over the Pennines. Great feat from Danny Edwards again, and a good challenge that's equal to it from Lavelle, but it'll go up for a Bamber Bridge throw-in. This will be Bamber Bridge's 6th victory of the season, taking them to 28 points in total. On the opposite end of the spectrum, Park Avenue looking at their 12th loss so far. Only 17 points on the board. And will drop in to the relegation zone after today. But here is Mayeko. But he can't win the ball. But he wins the ball back, can he? He does. And Preston now with the ball at his feet. And is he fouled there? He does really well to get through a tight gap in the midfield, but loses the ball. The ball runs away from him. And Dodd there on the left-hand side plays the ball into Baxter, who goes into Scarborough's feet. And out onto the left-hand side of Sharples. Then back to Dodd. And back to Sharples now on the halfway line, but well won by Lucas Dunstan, who Sharples didn't know he was coming there, and Osadibe now plays a ball to Jordan Preston on that right-hand side, and now Dunstan is fouled most definitely there by, I think it's Sharples again over there. Free kick for Park Avenue on the right-hand side to be taken by a Dunstan 15 yards in to the Bamber Bridge half. 3-0 Bamber Bridge here. 20 seconds to go here in regulation time of the 90. Ball forward towards Mayeko. He can't do anything, and Cullen's here. And now there could be trouble for Park Avenue. Could be for his Cullen. Really poor ball from Danny Edwards, trying to find the onrushing Cullen. But Cullen will regain the ball over to by the corner flag on the left-hand side. 2 minutes of additional time here to play at the Horsefall Community Stadium in what has been a disappointing afternoon, a disappointing second half, it must be said. 3-0 Bamber Bridge, 2 minutes to go. Bamber Bridge in possession of the ball, go out onto this right-hand side to the man with the armband on for them, Macaulay Wilson, who's had a good game at the heart of defence for the team in yellow this afternoon. Chance for Churchman opens up potentially. Could he have had a shot there? No, instead he looked forward trying to find the feet of Joseph Strawn, the substitute, but that ball ran on through to goalkeeper Tom Scott. Park Avenue playing the ball from right to left. Scott to Whiting to Brad Doherty now with his first touch of the afternoon, and Brad Doherty slips on the ball, kicks his own feet. The ball goes astray and regained by Bamber Bridge, but here's Mayeko. Mayeko down the right-hand side. Here's Lewis Hay. What can you do? Lewis Hay cuts back inside. Well played. Great ball into Jordan Preston's feet. Preston with a bit of room in front of him. Puts a ball into the box. Here's Osadibe. Can he score? Offside. The flag was up. Good play from Preston. Unfortunately, that is almost probably the best chance we've seen in terms of going forward for Park Avenue in this second half. It just hasn't really been there afternoon in terms of second half chances. But unfortunately, the assistant's flag was, of course, offside. 30 seconds to go here, you feel, at the Horsefall. Head coach Danny Whitaker stood in his technical area just watching, hands in pockets of his big puffer jacket. He's needed it this afternoon. The weather has been absolutely abysmal to match what is going to be an abysmal result. Danny Edwards retaining ball for Bamber Bridge at the captain's feet, Wilson, and it's just too easy for Bamber Bridge at this point. The game's done. Jack Baxter looking for a ball over the top. Lancaster's wise to it. Sharples can't quite make the best use of his first touch, but it's re-won by Sharples, and that's it here at the Horsefall Stadium. 3-0 defeat at home for Bradford Park Avenue. Bamber Bridge will be taking 3 points home back over the Pennines. Disappointing performance in the end for Park Avenue. Did really well to compete with Bamber Bridge in the first half. You'd have to say Park Avenue with a better side in that first half. Jordan Preston had probably the best chance of the game, even though there were 3 goals in it, with a chance on the edge of the 6-yard box. Potentially, definitely the best chance of the first half. He was unlucky not to score there with his shot, just kissing the exterior of the right post. Going into the second half, however, it was much different. Park Avenue just couldn't quite get a hold of anything in terms of the game, and a 55th goal from 55th minute goal from Harry Scarborough, a 71st minute goal from Billy Bold, and an 82nd minute goal from Ewan Bange just sealed defeat for Park Avenue at home, who now drop into the relegation zone in 19th spot. Plenty of work for Danny Whitaker to do. He said he was all in. We need him to be all in because we need more from Park Avenue in terms of results this season. Deject bodies, deject performance, perhaps in that second half. Plenty to work with for Park Avenue, though. Hoping to make a difference away at Radcliffe on Boxing Day. Can we turn this on their head? After a fantastic performance last week away at Macclesfield, it's disappointing to come away with a 3-0 defeat at home just before Christmas. Just to go over those goals again, Harry Scarborough tapped home a goal in the 55th minute after the ball was put down at the feet of Jack Baxter. Restarted play by the referee after a Lewis Hay head injury. He played the ball forward to Harry Scarborough. He played the ball forward to Billy Bold, who then whipped the ball across from the right-hand side, hard and low toward that backstick to be tapped home by Harry Scarborough. The second goal came just 15 minutes later with Billy Bold with a tidy move down the left side with the ball coming into the box from Dodd, the left back for Bamber Bridge. The header was met by Bange, and Bange's header was saved fantastically by goalkeeper Tom Scott, but unfortunately the rebound couldn't be kept out and it was poked home by Billy Bold. And then just in behind, when Park Avenue were chasing the game, trying to get something from it, perhaps a point, unfortunately in the 82nd minute, Ewan Bange poked the ball home with a great finish with his right foot, poked it towards the left corner for him, and that sealed defeat for Park Avenue. That's it from me today. I've been Arthur Difford here at the Horsefall Stadium. A disappointing result for Park Avenue after what was a decent first half. Hopefully something will change and we'll set a win, and Danny Whitaker's first win on Boxing Day away at Radcliffe. We hope to see you there if you can join us, but if not, have a fantastic Christmas, Bradford Park Avenue fans. Good night. 3-0 Bamber Bridge here. Bamber Bridge 3, Bradford Park Avenue 0 at the Horsefall Stadium. Good night.